All right, all right, all right. Good evening, everybody. Oh, look at, there's the numbers coming in. I love it. I love it. I love it. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy good evening, Sunday to wherever you are. Actually, I'd love to hear where everybody's coming in from tonight. So put it in the chat group. I am coming in from Sparks, Nevada, which is really close to South Lake Tahoe, California. If you guys know where that is, you'll know it's absolutely freezing here today. So, I don't know if you believe this, but I don't believe that where it matters where you're popping in from. All of us are looking for some sort of solutions and answers to life, no matter where you live, right? So as you guys come in, I want you to also go thank the person that invited you tonight, because they honestly, truly, truly care about you. So please reach out to them and say thank you for extending the love and opportunity as we help explore what's really possible together here. So let's get this thing started tonight. You guys excited? I'm so excited. So tonight, you guys, I am so blessed to be your host. My name is Anica Relaford, and I am an independent certified Optavia coach. And tonight, I get to have the distinct honor and privilege to explore with you more about the opportunity of health coaching and showing you how you can really be the dominant force in your life and take control in a world where most of us kind of feel out of control. And I think a lot of us, especially now after the last couple of years, are looking for really some emotional, some physical, and some financial security. Now, here's what I believe. I truly believe that most of us, especially after the last 2 years, have really had some time to think about how they want the next years of their life to play out. And about 5 years ago, I was put into that exact situation in a place of my life. See, 5 years ago, our son, who you see there pictured in the center and off to the left, was diagnosed with an extremely rare condition that only 6 people nationwide had ever been diagnosed with. And it was one of the hardest seasons that my husband, son, and I had to endure, you guys. We watched him contend and fight for his life months on end. And in that time, I knew that some significant changes needed to happen. See, slowly, after the last 15 years, I started to gain really a significant amount of weight. And that's the picture on the right. I was pre-diabetic. My cholesterol was 269, and I was completely disengaged and depressed in life. My husband was really on a similar path, and we really knew, you guys, that we just couldn't keep running at this pace. It was in that moment that our son showed us that it all came down to one thing in life. It was the power of choice. And as we watched him choose his life and contend for his best self, you guys, we knew that we could do too. And it was in our most desperate hour, you guys, that someone who cared for us deeply offered the opportunity of healthy body, healthy mind, and healthy finances. And in a few short months, you guys, what happened was literally nothing short of a miracle. As you can see on the right, I lost about 70 pounds in about 5.5 months. But what I regained was a life that I never thought possible. And I've spent over the last 15 years in the medical field trying to teach people how to be proactive and take care of themselves, and finding myself struggling in the process. But see, you guys, I never had a vehicle as reliable, as ethical, and as inclusive as the one that we are a part of now in Optavia. So to say that our life is really changed, that would be an understatement. And not only are we able to live an incredibly healthy life full of stamina, hiking up to Half Dome, my husband and son really have their mom and wife back. And it's being able to do what matters most to us on our terms. And I think that's what we all want in life. The opportunity to kind of live life on our terms. You guys, the statistics out there are really astounding when we take a look at them right now. Worldwide obesity has nearly tripled since 1975. Most of the world's population live in countries where, honestly, being overweight and obese kills more than people that are underweight like it used to be. But the American statistics, those are worse. Almost a third of adults with partners, like this is 31%, report that money is the major source of conflict in their relationship. 69%, this is almost 70% of workers were stressed out over their finances, with a full 72% admitting to worrying about their personal finances at work. And you guys, in July 2020, the rates of depression and anxiety in the US were more than triple those in 2019. You know, the simple question, how are you, literally turned into an emotional minefield for folks. So who and what is Optavia? Well, it all started with this incredible man, a doctor, a husband, a father, who had a formidable dream and mission, one to help others create radiant health and well-being. The problem was he was stuck, much like some of you guys here today, working really hard, long hours, and unable to really see his vision come into true fruition in his current vehicle and cardiac care. So Dr. Wayne Scott Anderson was the valedictorian of his medical class. He trained in open heart surgery at Cleveland Clinic. He was the 10th board critical care physician in the United States. He was the surgical critical care director at Grandview Hospital, and he was the department chair of anesthesiology for over 18 years. This is what he saw coming over 20 years ago.
We have the experience here in the United States where we've learned what doesn't work, what doesn't create well-being. You know, the United States is 5% of the world's population. They consume 50% of the pharmaceuticals in the world. $500 billion. It's crazy. People don't want more medications, and yet we're selling sickness. In a sense, the medical delivery system is nothing but a business now. We're almost at $3 trillion in our healthcare budget. We're not even in the top 20 in terms of health. We've lost our way. The work I'm doing now is profoundly more effective than the work I did in the past. Yeah, I helped a few people a day in the intensive care unit not die. Now I'm helping, hundreds of thousands of people create health in their life. And it's the right thing.
So the solution he came up with was Optavia, a simple lifestyle program that showed people how to be on the proactive end of their health. An extremely simple, comprehensive model where all clients get a free coach for accountability and support, a community of unlimited support when the client needs it, and a group of like-minded individuals lifting and guiding and encouraging one another alongside free nutritional support specialists, field leaders in a safe environment to learn and grow, an educational component to help identify faltering habits and create new ones that support healthy and longevity options in nutrition, emotional mismanagement, environment, hydration, movement, and surroundings. A place where they could write a new story, and an inclusive nutrition program to help them reach their goals that makes it easy and convenient in such a chaotic world, that takes the focus off of food while allowing them to obtain solid, inclusive nutrition and lose weight effectively and safely. Once there, it's not about just losing the weight. It's about transitioning into optimization and a longer, healthier life. And what we find is that most people are looking for a healthy body, but it doesn't mean much if we're not using that vehicles to live our best lives. And most, like some of the people that you'll hear from tonight, including me, make the decision to coach and pay it forward to their family and their friends. What we see is that most are looking for one or a combination in these three things in life: accountability, fulfillment, and healthy finances. Our solution is simple: become a sponsor and pay it forward in coaching. Optavia offers a unique business model unlike any other and is one of Forbes' most top ethical companies. You're not a distributor, you don't hold inventory, you're not required to make purchases or required to sponsor a set number of clients. We're not an MLM, yet instead a community of independent clients and health practitioners guiding. They're a proven successful system that is the second fastest company, growing faster than Amazon and Netflix and impacting over 2 million lives nationwide. So we say most are looking for all or a combination of these things. As clients, some of us look for accountability, and the best health insurance policy is to partner with others in their journey, and we're 5 times more likely to keep the weight off. Fulfillment. Most are working so hard in jobs, and they make a good living, but lack what truly matters most: having time to spend those with we work with so hard for, growing and achieving as individuals, and being able to give back to community the way they truly desire. And most, as we've seen in the statistics, are struggling financially. It's not about the money, but it's what it represents: options. We do our best when we have options and opportunities to do the things that matter most to us, the resources to create memories and live in a way that matters most to you. By helping just about 7 people and bringing in an extra $500 a month, the difference can be the difference between a solid marriage and divorce, like it was for my husband and I. An extra $2,200 by helping about 18 people and replacing most people out there's full-time income. And for some of the people that you're here tonight, seeing the vehicle that has no financial ceiling and creating a legacy business that can be willed off to their children. So we ask you tonight to sit back and listen to a few people tonight that have said yes to the opportunity as a client and became a coach. So tonight we get to kick it off with one of my favorite ladies, you guys. And let me tell you, my friends, her story is impactful. And I want to please help welcome Miss Linda Andryans to share a little bit about how Optavia has impacted her life this evening. So Linda, are you there?
I'm here, my friend. Hi, Anica. And let me tell you, you are my biggest inspiration since day one. And I'm so excited that I get to watch you and learn from you. Good evening, everybody. Before I start, whoever is on program, is thinking about program, has done program, drop a W in the chat if you're here because of weight loss. If you joined program because of weight loss, drop a W. I'm sure I'm going to see a lot of W's because I joined for weight loss, but my weight loss, even though it was huge, I have lost 250 pounds in life and never been able to maintain. And then I have lost an additional 60 on program and I've maintained for 2 years, but that is the smallest miracle in my life. So I don't even want to spend any time on that. I want to talk to you guys about coaching. I had zero intentions of coaching. I've struggled with weight all my life, you guys. As I said, I did not think that I qualified to tell somebody how to lose weight, but something magical happened on day 4 when I hit fat burn. Can you guys resonate with that feeling? Oh my gosh, I woke up and I was like, whoa, what is this? No cravings. I felt amazing, lots of energy. And I said, okay, mom. And my mom lives with me. I said, Mom, this is great, you know, and she wanted to join as a coach and as a client. So I became a coach to help her. I had no intentions of doing anything with this. I was a business owner. I owned a kids' hair salon that my husband and I, we built it from scratch. We were so busy that I was working full time as well. But what I didn't know is I was so miserable being at my own shop. I was so miserable working at my shop because it took me away from my family. It took me away from my children. You know, I want to paint a quick picture for you guys. Imagine I was working 6 days a week, including weekends. On weekends, I started at 9 a.m. and was done at 6 p.m. cutting kids' hair. And because I have a daughter who is on the spectrum, I'm very familiar with children who are a little bit more sensitive. So people realize, and I was getting all of the children who were struggling. So imagine how difficult my day was. And at the end of the day, I go home and I have 0 patience for my kids. That was so sad. So my sadness drove me to alcohol. I couldn't wait to come home and hit that bottle, and I was miserable. I started program, I started coaching, and my life changed. And I didn't even know. I had 1 day a week off, and I was coaching 1 day a week. And it was so much fun that I just wanted to do more of it. So I started to have more clients and more excuses to have less haircut clients, more coaching clients. And slowly I started working less and less. You guys, last year, my husband and I, we sold that business without any hesitation, without even thinking twice. We moved out of state and we became full-time health coaches. Because, can I be honest with you guys? I'm amongst people who have addiction, so I feel safe to share this. It's an addiction to coach. I get a high feeling when somebody changes their life. I get a high feeling when I'm able to make a difference in somebody's life. So as an addict, and I always say this, you cannot get rid of an addiction, you can only shift it. So here it is, the perfect scenario. I'm watching myself because I'm telling others to do something that I should be doing, accountability. I get to wake up and I get to help people while I'm helping myself. And I get to do that at my own schedule, at my own time, while I'm there for my children. I get to make amazing finances that I never even dreamed about, because dreaming was not an option for me. Now I get to dream, and my dreams need big finances. And I'm looking forward to impacting lives. And the more lives I get to impact, the better of a life I create for myself and for my family. And it's absolutely amazing. It is the best thing that has happened in my life. And I'm so thankful. And I'm so thankful to have this amazing community of coaches alongside with me. And thank you so much, you guys, for allowing me to share with you.
Linda is truly the American dream, sweetheart. To be able to live life on our terms, and watching you do that has hit my heart so much. Thank you so much, sweetheart, for sharing that. Isn't that powerful, you guys? Put what resonated with you the most down in the chat group and allow that to be shared with the community. And I'm so honored, you guys, because next is one of the speakers that, you guys, she's just one of those people that when you hear the word inspiration, her face should be on the billboard. So please help me welcome this incredible boy mom and former therapist, Emily Yanez. Emily, are you there?
I am. You make me smile. Thank you so much for that introduction. Good evening, everyone. Like Anica said, my name is Emily Yanez, and I have been a certified health coach with Optavia since 2013. I'm a single parent of 2 little boys, and I live in Los Angeles, and I'm just so excited and honored to be able to share a little bit more about my story tonight. So it kind of all started 8 years ago. I had just had my very first baby. And on one hand, I felt like Superwoman because I'd just given birth. And as a female, I just felt so powerful. But on the other hand, I looked in the mirror and I saw a stranger. It was really a hard sort of mental conflict that I had because, I felt really strong, yet so disconnected from my own body. I had not been that heavy ever in my life. And despite what everyone had told me, like, don't worry, you'll lose it from nursing, I was worried about it. I was a ballet dancer and an athlete up until my 20s. So I understood how to lose 5 or 10 pounds, but here I was at 33 and 45 pounds heavier than I'd been in my entire life. And I had no clue what to do. It may as well have been 100 pounds, because to me, that's how insurmountable it felt. And so that stress, on top of first time mom stress, on top of nursing stress, on top of going back to work stress and maternity leave sort of ticking down day by day, I was a mess. I cried every day. I felt incredibly hopeless. And in my gut, I knew what I wanted, which was to stay home with my baby. But I worked in nonprofit mental health as a therapist. And if you guys listening know anything about nonprofit work, it's good work, but it's not always financially fruitful work. And so, staying home for me and not working wasn't an option. And you guys, I had a love-hate relationship with my career. I loved my clients. I loved being of service to others, but I hated what my life had become. I was a slave to my work phone, paperwork, other people's desires for me. And any day off was never truly a day off, because that meant it was going to be a paperwork day to catch up. I did not really have holidays and weekends, because I was actually on call 24/7 for crisis calls for my clients. And the productivity expectations were just so high that I was constantly doing paperwork to kind of prove that I was doing my job, which made me really angry, because I was so good at what I did. Yet I constantly felt pulled from that actual good work to meet these really unrealistic expectations that were being put on me. And I knew in my heart and soul that it was those expectations that were going to stop me from being the kind of mom that I wanted to be. And so, a true life transformation took place from that point. So I lost almost 50 pounds doing our Amazing Nursing Mothers program. And I quickly realized that this diet program that I thought I was doing was just something that I fell in love with. And I saw immediately that it was definitely more of a life program. So from that point, I decided I was going to try coaching. I was going to see if I could potentially match my income, even though I thought, oh gosh, I'm an introvert. I love working one-on-one with people as a therapist, but gosh, I'm not salesy. I don't know if I'll be able to do this. So the exciting thing is that I was able to match my income. I never returned after my maternity leave expired. And I truly felt like I had bought my life back. The freedom was so indescribable. I have worked since I was 14 years old, and working for other people is just all I ever knew. And I'm so grateful to have the best of both worlds now. I get to be the room parent. I get to go on field trips. I get to volunteer during the day and be the kind of mom I always envisioned. However, I still get to have the satisfaction of having a thriving business, still helping people, which is what I enjoyed, obviously, about being a therapist. So, today I make incredible income that I never would have imagined in my former profession working in nonprofit. And as a woman, that's very important to me and my identity. I love being a mom. Anyone who knows me will tell you that, but you better believe there's more to me and my happiness, which is great and okay. And that's what coaching gives me, total satisfaction in all areas. So, if you're listening to this right now, it is not on accident. I don't believe in accidents. Someone invited you to this because they had you on their heart, and there's a reason you're listening in this moment. So I want you to take that in. Someone cares about you enough to want to share this. Life can change in an instant. When I started coaching, I was happily married. We had a 2-income household. And one of the biggest blessings that I could never have predicted that this business gave me was stability. I became a single parent about 4 years ago, and I support my kids and myself solely on my own income. And that's not something that I would have been able to do on my therapist salary. Straight up, I would have had to have moved in with family, and life would look really different with very little opportunity. I never once felt stuck or that I had to stay in a marriage because of finances. And while I recognize the privilege in this, you all can have that kind of choice in your life. And I hope that, you were able to connect to something I said, or that something one of our presenters will share. And just please sit and think about what sorts of freedoms this would allow you. Stop limiting yourself with that fixed mindset that tells you like, oh, I'm too busy, or I would never be good at this, or I make okay money. Please start to dream a little bigger, and we'll be here for you when you're ready. Thanks for having me.
You guys, so powerful. Like Emily said, stability. How many of you, put a 10 in the chat, you're looking for that balance and that stability? Sometimes we just need to work smarter, not harder. Sometimes we're stuck in a Pinto looking for the Ferrari, right? Take an opportunity and a chance on you. So powerful what she said today, you guys. So, you guys, our next speaker is an amazing mother. And she didn't have a lot of weight to lose, but oh my goodness, you guys, she has gained a ton since she chose coaching. So Holly's going to be sharing just a little bit more on her new found sense and purpose as she decided to pay it forward and coach. So Holly, are you there?
Yes, I am. Thank you so much, Anica. Gosh, it's like I'm familiar with many people on this call, and it is just even more awesome to continue to hear some of these stories and learn new levels. So I'm just glad to be here. Thank you. So before I introduce myself and a little bit more about my background, I just want to target my message a little bit. Okay, so if you're listening, I want you to think about this. If you are someone who has ever felt like you lost your own sense of self-identity to your work or to motherhood or parenthood, I want you to think about that for a minute, okay? If you feel like you kind of lost yourself in that. Or if you're somebody who just feels like, gosh, I'm too young or I'm too old to make an impact or for someone to take me seriously. This is for you, okay? Or let's see here. If you are someone who is just always stressing about money, maybe you have decent financial means, maybe you don't, but you want to go out on a date with a friend or your partner, and you can't hardly enjoy yourself because you're so concerned about the price of the menu item. Maybe you're somebody who just feels like, wow, I don't know that I'm going to make an impact, or I don't have anything valuable to say, right? If you've ever felt like you were in one of those places with me, I am talking to you right now. Okay, so I want you to put a 1 in the chat so I know that my people are here. Now, of those people or anyone else, I also want to know who's ever felt like they're just wearing that busy badge. You're too busy. There's no way you could fit anything else in your schedule. Not a chance, no way, right? Or you know what? You're someone who never posts on social media. You can't possibly imagine posting on social media because who wants to hear what you have to say anyway? And you're probably going to be like that person, or it would be annoying if you started to live out loud a little bit more. Okay. Maybe you feel like, who am I to tell someone how to live healthy? Who am I? I don't know what I'm doing. I haven't been healthy before. I've struggled so much. Who am I to go tell someone how to be healthy? Okay. If any of those thoughts now have crossed your mind, I want you to put a 2. I saw lots of 1s rolling in. Throw me some 2s if that's stuff that's crossed your mind. Oh yeah, I see it. Okay, you all are my people. I am talking to you. They're just the 2s and the 1s are coming through. All right, so I am here to talk to that group of people, okay? So I'm Halle, and I'm 27. I'm a mother of a 2-year-old daughter. I'm a wife, and I also work full-time at a credit union. I love my job there. And when I got on program initially, it was just to lose 5 or 10 pounds. I was like, I just want to lose 5 or 10 pounds. It's kind of just, it's built up and I'm ready to be done with it. And so I got on program and I ended up losing 22 pounds, which blew my mind. Okay. And it was awesome. And my coach was like, I think you would do a great job at coaching. Maybe it's something to think about. And originally I was like, oh no. There's not a chance. There's no way I'm doing that. And then I realized how easy this program was compared to everything else I've ever tried and how effective it was. And I was like, you know what? I've got to get my dad on program. He struggled with his weight his whole life, his health, and I just want to help him. So if I just coach one person and it's my dad, then that's enough. That's worth it to me. So that's what I did. And my dad's down almost 40 pounds now. He's surpassed his original goal. He's like 5 pounds away from his stretch goal now. He's doing fabulous. And that has felt so incredible. And, like Linda was saying, it's addictive. And so when I started to see how that was going and friends and family started to see my dad's progress, I ended up now, I'm coaching 25 different people and I cannot even believe it, right? Now, here's what I want you to hear. I could talk to you about every single one of those things that I listed before because every single one of those was me. But the thing I want to focus on right now is what I wanted to be. So the person that I wanted to be was someone who was generous And I didn't feel like that person. So I felt like I had lost my identity as a mother, as a professional. I was just kind of existing, but I would see these friends and family who would just pour out their time, their effort, their wisdom, financial gifts to people. They would, just buy a friend a little coffee here and there, or offer to pay for the dinner, or buy a little trinket or something. I just wanted to be that. I just wanted to be generous. And this opportunity, this coaching, even though I'm still working a full-time job, it has given me the opportunity to have that generosity that just what I'm doing normally hasn't allowed for. So just in my lunch breaks, or a little bit in the evening here and there, while I'm standing in the line at the grocery store, I am coaching and supporting 25 different people on their goals. And I get to feel the impact that the generosity I'm now having with my talents, with my time, with my resources is having on my community. And financially speaking, just this past month, I was able to donate $700 towards a charity that meant a lot to me. I've never been able to donate more than like $10 before. Okay. So as a 27-year-old, I'm having an impact now, and I have an identity that is for me. I love my child, and I love my husband, and I love the place that I work, but I have an identity for me and purpose. And so that's what coaching has brought to me. I'm no longer afraid of all these other things. And I just want people to hear that. I had every excuse in the book, and here I am doing this. So if you're thinking about it, I just want you to know that we can talk if that stuff is in the way, because you can do this if I can do this. So that's what I want to say. Thanks for the opportunity to share.
Oh, you're going to make me cry. It's about the impact, right? And same thing like you. I had no dreams of giving back to community, and to be able to do things that I never knew that I was missing in the first place. You know, what we do, you guys, makes a difference in this world. We just need to figure out what kind of difference we want to make, like Holly, right? So what's your identity? What are you identifying with? Here's a place where you have the opportunity to really recreate yourself. And speaking of some amazing individuals, I want to bring on our next speakers over, because you guys, we've got to move it over to the bed tonight. Last but certainly not least are two of my favorite people, you guys. We have gotten to know each other pretty well over the last few years. And to hear their story on how Optavia has impacted their lives and thousands they've helped, well, you guys, I'm just going to have them tell you. So Michael and Dennis, are you guys there?
We're here. So I'm Dennis Baker, certified health coach. I'm very happy to be here. And I want to talk to everyone about dreaming and being comfortable, because I was very comfortable when I started the program. Now, I was not comfortable with my weight. I was heavier than I'd ever been. I was on 2 different blood pressure medicines, and my blood sugar was pre-diabetic. I had a very successful business. Michael was very successful. We traveled a lot, and I was very happy. So I thought. So I started this program, and in 4 days, I'd already lost more weight than I had in 3 years doing a rigorous program, working out and eating vegetarian, which I didn't care for. But so I just called my coach and said, I've got to share this with other people. I didn't care about the money. That wasn't an issue. I just wanted to share this because it was working. And so I started telling everybody about it and bringing everybody along and not knowing anything about it until my first paycheck came in, and I was blown away. I was like, you're kidding me, that I get paid this for just sharing this gift with everybody that's working, and I'm helping people. As a hairdresser, that's what I did. I got great I was very happy about making people feel better about themselves by their looks. But now I got to take people and actually make them feel better with their health and live longer and do things they couldn't do. So I was telling everybody about it and helping everybody. So first paycheck, then I was blown away, and I thought, well, what if I dream a little bit bigger? And what if I could take this and make it into something where I could possibly leave my day-to-day brick and mortar job, which I love, but it was very stressful. Because if I wasn't behind the chair making money, I still had to pay into it, right? Because I had employees, I had a very high mortgage. So luckily, the day came when I was making more money than I ever had in my business, just doing this part-time thing, helping people. And I decided to walk away from my business and sell the building. Now that was right before COVID hit. And that was a blessing because I would have had to have closed my doors and nobody could work. I would have employees out of work that I was, that I felt responsible for. I had a high mortgage, but that was gone. I sold the building. We went to a condo that we bought and stayed there for 3 months. And that's where we dreamed a little bit bigger. What if we could bring Michael home? From a very successful job, which he'll tell his story in a bit, and do what was important to us because we had a financial planner to plan our retirement, if you will, but we weren't supposed to do that for another 10 years. We love boating, we love warm weather, we love to travel. So here we are in Southwest Florida, a boat in the backyard. We're helping thousands of people. We've helped over 3,000 across the country, with many thanks to the coaches that are working with us. And we love what we're doing. And we were able to do that about 10 years earlier than we were supposed to. So it's pretty amazing, you know, dream big and don't be comfortable. I hate that word comfortable because that gets you stuck. When you're comfortable, you're not growing. You're stuck where you are. Dream big.
Hey guys, so you know, we were very comfortable. Honestly, most people looked at our lives and thought we had everything. And I think we actually thought we did too, because trust me when I say you don't know what you don't know. So my background is I'm an internal medicine physician, and most of you have probably heard of WebMD, the online health site. I was the chief medical director for WebMD for almost 23 years. And it is a wow. Like, I'm so thankful that I fell into it. And most people hear it and their jaws just drop because WebMD, you see it, right? But to me, it was not hitting the sweet spot for me. I became a physician because I wanted to make, you've heard this word a lot tonight, I wanted to make an impact on people's lives. I wanted to help them get healthy, help them thrive. And I cannot honestly think of one person in medical practice or at WebMD that I truly felt like I had set on that path. But when I saw what was happening to dentists, it's like the stars aligned to be able to truly impact lives. We thought we were going to help a few family and friends, but just by one simple yes, we really went all in because we very quickly, our coach was living the life of our dreams. Total passion, total impact, but just able to live an amazing, amazing life. So I want to give you guys a little perspective. So we have been coaching for 7 years, and I actually thought about this not too long ago. So of course, like everybody, I went to 12 years of school, 4 years of college, 4 years of medical school, 3 years of residency, and then another 20 years of being in a business, you know, WebMD, to make the same income we make after 7 years of coaching. This is what is just crazy to me, that I'm able to live out this passion that I've always had of impacting lives in ways that I never could in medical practice, and doing it in a way that this is truly just about helping yourself by helping others. I just never imagined this kind of life was even possible. And you can imagine, I made a lot of money as WebMD's chief medical director, but it still wasn't hitting the right spot for me. It just, I needed to make a much bigger impact on people's lives. And I will tell you, I'll leave you with this, guys. It's just a simple yes. It is scary to think about doing something different. But all you got to do is just partner with whoever invited you here. I will promise you, it will set you on a path of true life transformation, one that I would have never, in our, mid 50s, late 50s, 60s, that we would have ever been able to move to Southwest Florida, have a boat in the backyard, live in a house of our dreams, having so much free time. It's just remarkable. I could go on and on and on, guys, but just turn back to the person who invited you here and just explore it with them. Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much for sharing, guys. I really think, you guys, at the end of our life, we want to know that our life made some sort of difference on this earth. And like Dennis and Michael said, and all the other speakers, what if? What kind of impact do you want to make? I wonder what's possible if you took a chance on investing in yourselves and the lives of others. From all of us here tonight, we just hope that you take the chance on faith and that you reach out to the person that invited you here tonight, who cared enough about you to give you the option of opportunities. We want to thank you so much for staying tonight, and we're really excited for what's possible for you and those that you love the most. Good night.
Our mission is to offer the world lifelong transformation, one healthy habit at a time. Guarantee like or similar outcomes. We hope these stories inspire you to continue your journey with or join Optavia. But please note that they have not been verified and your individual path to optimal health will vary. As always, it is our recommendation that you speak with a healthcare provider or doctor prior to beginning your journey with Optavia. Additionally, this audio may contain income or earnings representations of some independent Optavia coaches. The stories shared reflect the unique experience of a very small percentage of Optavia coaches and should not be relied upon by prospective or current Optavia coaches as an indication of what they should expect to earn. We cannot guarantee financial success. Success with Optavia results from successful sales efforts which require hard work, diligence, skill, persistence, competence, and leadership. Optavia acknowledges that this audio may be accessible to Optavia coaches in the U.S., Hong Kong, and Singapore. For Optavia coaches operating in the U.S., please see the Optavia Income Disclosure Statement for statistics on actual earnings of U.S. coaches under the U.S. Compensation Plan. Please note that the Income Disclosure Statement only applies to independent Optavia coaches operating in the U.S. under the U.S. Compensation Plan and does not in any way constitute any representations as to actual or potential accrual of benefits for Hong Kong or Singapore coaches under the International Compensation Plan.